Hey, what goes on, guys? We're back here again with another review, and today we're going to be taking a look at this enormous toy. We're going to be looking at the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Apatosaurus by Mattel. Now, I don't collect the Legacy Collection, it's not the scale that I like, but I don't think the Amber Collection is going to be doing a 6-inch scale Apatosaurus or any sauropod for any matter, and seeing as though the sauropods are my favorite group of dinosaurs, I really like to get them. I've gotten the Brachiosaurus, and that thing is amazing. So when they revealed that they were doing an Apatosaurus, I really had to go ahead and get it. I actually got 25% off for this, so instead of paying $60, I only had to pay $40. I mean, I think $40 for this giant-ass toy is definitely more than fair. I think it's a really cool toy, and I've seen a review about it, and it's really good, and I really wanted to, I told myself I wouldn't go crazy, but if I found it, I would get it, and I did find it, so convinced myself to get it, but this is going to be an interesting review, so bear with me, because this thing is enormous, like, enormous, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to review it, but you know what, there's a first time for everything. I don't know exactly how I'm going to review this. It's a huge toy, but, you know, we'll figure it out. So, taking a look at the box here, you can definitely see this awesome artwork of the JP-style Apatosaurus. It says Apatosaurus down here, if you can see that, Mattel. Some little tyke, little jerk playing with the Apatosaurus there. You get the gyrosphere there with the kids in there from Jurassic World, which is kind of cool. It seems like you get more Apatosaurus in the back. They actually don't look like a Apatosaurus, I'm not sure. But you got a Stegosaurus there. I'll try to get this on there. You see that same little kid playing with it. You see it shows how long it is. You can get the app, which if you have the app, you can like add it to the collection on the app, which I'll show you the foot in the video if you want to take that. I don't really care. I don't do that. You get the same artwork, just flipped on the side here. It says Apatosaurus in different languages. The same kid playing with it. Jurassic World. On the top, it just says Jurassic World Legacy Collection, and on the bottom, it has the instructions on how to build it. Here is the barcode if you're looking for this guy. But yeah, I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and try to open this guy up. So, taking the Apatosaurus out of the box, obviously this is not the entire figure, but it's all I can fit on camera at the moment. It's basically just the neck up. We will do our best to get this whole thing on camera. And I'm going to show you everything that is part of this figure that, you know, obviously I'm going to show you the whole thing. Maybe just not at once at the moment here, but taking a look at the head sculpt without knocking everything on my desk over, it looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. The head sculpt looks really nice. I really like the dry brush that they put on the head. You can see the ear and the scale sculpts all the way around look fantastic. The eyes painted really nice, and it looks cute, you know. He looks really cute. You can see the ear, the nose up at the front looks really good. Unlike Brachiosaurus, where the nostrils are at the top of the head, the Apatosaurus was not like that. Trying to rotate him around so you can see the front of the head. It looks really nice here. The other side is basically the same thing. I'll try to spin him around in a second, or spin her around in a second. But you can see the inside of the mouth. I don't really like that the hinge is the skin color, because I know you can't really see it too well here. Or I guess you can. You can see it kind of, but you can definitely tell that that is the skin color of the hinge. And when I was taking certain pictures, you could definitely notice that. So I kind of wish that it was pink and that they just painted like the outside of the bottom right there, but it's honestly not that big a deal. Like I said, the dry brushing on this just makes it look like such a high quality toy. I kind of wish the whole body did that, but for honestly, it kind of just ends at the head. But for what it's worth, it's really good. And like I said, the other side of her is pretty much the same thing. There's like some weird like plastic chipping on this side, but it's not that big a deal, and you don't really see it in most positions, so it looks really nice. Going down the neck here, without trying to knock everything down, you could see all like the scoots and things that go down the neck. The sculpt looks really nice, like the wrinkles. I don't know what this part is right here. It's like a kind of a mess up on the paint, but it's not that big a deal. It's on the bottom. I actually didn't notice it until just now, but you get like this nice underspray of like a lighter tan to go under the green, which aside from that is all painted very, very nice. The sculpting is so crisp. Like it's not like a soft sculpt by any means. Like the scales are very defined and very deep in there, so that even from far away you can tell this is a wrinkly dinosaur, as you know, scales and skin of a dinosaur would be. On the top you can see the paint scaling that they have. It's more like a, I guess like a beigeish brown to go on top. It's not as good as the dry brush on the head, but I understand that that would be very expensive to do across the whole thing. But these paint apps that are there, you get like these striations across the top of the head, or I guess along the neck, and it does continue onto the body, which you can see here. They look really, really nice. And the sculpting across the body, I'm just going to try to change the angle a little bit. The sculpting across the body is just as good. You can see like the rib cage there, the shoulders, very defined muscular tones for the dinosaur. Up top you can see the spinal column kind of like raise, I guess, and then like I said, it is the same on the other side, just as clean. I like the big chunky legs that they have, or that she has. The rib cage, like I said, is also pronounced on this side with the folds on the shoulder. Moving into the legs here, you do see that the knees are sculpted very nice. You can see that that paint kind of ends right here, like at the crotch area. There on the bottom of the foot is that code thing that if you want to use it for your app, go for it, because I'm not going to be doing that. But the bottom of the feet look good. Speaking of the feet, you can see the dew claw, I guess you want to call it. I don't know if that's exactly what it would be called. I know that's what it's called on a raptor, but it could be something different. I wish the toes were painted. I might go ahead and do that myself. Just paint them black. I think it would add a lot to this figure, and then put like a glossy coat over it. I think that would be really cool, but they're sculpted very nice. They're not as long and pointy as they should be. I threw the box away already, but they should be a lot more protruded than they are. I guess, you know, obviously it's a kid's toy, so they gotta dull it down a little bit, but you know, it's not too bad. I really like the sculpt. The hind feet look just as good. I would definitely want to paint these too. Only the front ones are supposed to be kind of really sharp like that. Looking on the other side of the feet, or the other side of the set of the feet, also looks good. I don't know what that is, but it's not that big a deal. The sculpting, like, you know, like I guess the crotch looks really good, and then like how it goes into the tail, I really like the wrinkles and the folds there, so that looks really nice. And then going up to the tail here, you can see that the paint, it does continue onto the tail up until this point. Now, unlike the Brachiosaurus, there is a swivel at the end here. I'll get more into articulation in a minute. I mean, there's not much to talk about, but the sculpting on the tail looks really good. There's no paint on the bottom. The serial number was put right there. And then it goes all the way down to the end of the tail, which does look nice. I think more paint would add something. I wish they did like this color, like at the tip of the tail. That would have been really cool. Or like add like some dry brushing that they did on the head to the tip of the tail. I think that would have been really cool. But yeah, I mean, she looks great. She looks really good. I like the color choice that they used for her. And I like the sculpt. It's very crisp and clean, and like she becomes very photogenic. The teeth, I don't know if I mentioned, but the teeth are painted very good in there. I think they're on the top too. Yeah, they're on the top too. You can kind of see it up there. Again, sorry for the crappy angles. I mean, it's just, it is kind of difficult to review something like this. The paint looks really good. I mean, obviously more paint would be great. I mean, I was always tempted to take like the super colossal T-Rex, Carnotaurus, and Indominus and the Brachiosaurus and just put like washes on each of them and add some paint apps. And I think it would take these sculpts to another level, but never really had the time, money, or kind of drive to do so at this point. Maybe this one, she'll make me do it, because I think she could really benefit from it. Because the Brachiosaurus, while it had a lot of sculpting, it wasn't a lot of deep grooves. She has a lot of deep grooves. So I think that this figure in particular would really benefit from a good wash. So let's go ahead and take a look at what little articulation she does have. So she doesn't have much articulation, but she does have more than the Brachiosaurus in two different ways, which I will talk about as we go through it. So at the head, there's a ball joint at the base of the head. So you can get her to look up that far, look down that far, side to side, so she can look Let me see if I can angle that a little bit better for you. She can look side to side and then swivel there. So the Brachiosaurus did not have that at all. So I really, really like that. I think it adds a lot. And as I showed earlier, she does have an articulated mouth. That is very seamless when it's closed. Like, I didn't know that she opened her mouth, and then I saw the review and I was like, oh, that looks really good. So yeah, that's really good. Opens that far. I like that. Going on to the base of the neck here, it's a very heavy ratchet, but you can kind of put it in between. It's just a side to side, unlike the Brachiosaurus where it was a huge disc that would go up and down. This goes side to side. So she'll look to the side, to the left that far, and then to the right that far. So it seems like she moves to the left a little bit more, which is fine. It does not swivel there. I think a swivel would have been cool, but I guess it really wouldn't make sense with the paint. Her leg will kick forward that far, back that far. That's about it. The hind leg will kick forward that far and go back that far. On the other side, because they are different sculpts, it'll go forward that far, back that far, forward that far, back that far. And then for the tail, to her right, it goes that far that way, that far that way. No swivel. I think a swivel would have been good at the tail. I think it would have made a lot more sense, especially considering that, like I showed earlier, there is a 360 rotation at the base of the tail here. I think that would have been nice to have a swivel at the base of the tail here, along with the end, but it's not that big a deal. So I think for what it is, I think the articulation is good. Obviously, would a giant, super articulated Apatosaurus be incredible? Yeah, but I understand that that's probably not something really fair to ask of Mattel or pretty much any company doing dinosaur figures at this kind of a scale. So I'm definitely okay with the amount of articulation that she has. So I thought I'd go ahead and try to show you as best as I can just how big this figure is. Taking a look at a 6-inch Marvel Legends figure, we have probably my new favorite Marvel Legends, maybe ever, the Zombie Captain America. So Zombie Cap only comes to a little under her shoulder. And in terms of neck, it's about right there. So it's about 2.5 zombie caps long on the neck alone. I mean, him on her back is huge. Like, he looks like he could definitely ride this dinosaur, which is freaking awesome. But taking a look at something that probably makes more sense to compare with, we have the Amber Collection Clever Girl Velociraptor, the original release one. And obviously, this is not in scale. And Apatosaurus was a very large animal and probably should be about like here and about maybe as long from tail to tail or from leg to leg, probably even a little bit smaller. But honestly, for my purposes, this is plenty big. I took some cool pictures. I took some cool pictures of like the Velociraptor, like jumping on her back, her trying to get the Velociraptor. So I think that it definitely works. If you know how long the Amber Collection Velociraptor is, it's still shorter than her neck from tip to tip. So it's not a small figure by any means. Yeah, should it technically be bigger for 7-inch scale? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I ever expect any company to give us a figure that big? No. So I think the scaling, while not technically correct, for my purposes is perfectly fine and something that I really like having. So this looks awesome. So, as always, it's that point in the video where I know you guys are asking yourself, yo, Ant, what are you thinking of this figure? And I gotta say, she's awesome. I mean, obviously, I have nitpicks here and there. I think if they continued this dry brush across the whole thing, it would have been, like really, really good. The dry brush on the head is gorgeous. I think the toes definitely should have been painted. Maybe, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and I know I'm not expecting scale purposes of 7-inch scale, but maybe a little bit bigger would have been cool. She's a little bit smaller than I initially thought she was going to be. I think the Brachiosaurus, while not as long, obviously she's taller, but I think she might be taller at the shoulder too. There are different, while they are part of the same genus of dinosaurs, the sauropod family, which if I probably should have explained this at the beginning of the video, sauropods are long-necked dinosaurs. they're very different body types and very different dinosaurs and species altogether. But it would have been interesting to see if she was a little bit bigger, because Apatosaurus is supposed to be a little bit bigger, but I wish I had the Brachiosaurus here to compare. I don't know how that would have went on camera, but I think it would have been cool to see them together, and I can't wait to put them together. But I think for what she is, she's great. And the price point of $55, I guess 60, closer to 60 after tax, is fair. Do I think she should be a little bit bigger for that price and maybe a little bit more paint apps? Yes. Am I going to cry about it? No. Especially considering I got her for $40. So if I was to give her a rating at that price point, I would probably give her an 8 out of 10. A little bit more paint and maybe a little bit bigger, and I think we would have had a top tier action figure over here. Because I consider these action figures, well, I guess they're directed toward kids. I mean, let's be honest here. Obviously, if I was a kid, I would have loved to have this, but let's be honest here. The adult collectors are the ones that are going to be buying these the most. But with that, I think that's all I got for today. So if you have not already, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Follow me on Instagram if you have not already. I took some awesome pictures of this as best as I could. Tomorrow I plan on taking some more with the Velociraptor, so I think it's going to be some cool pictures that are coming up. I got a bunch of cool ideas. If you have not found out already, I'm going to be doing a giveaway at 300 subscribers. I'm not sure for what I'm going to be giving away, but I will be doing a giveaway nonetheless, so please stay tuned for that and subscribe to the channel just so you know when you're ready for that. And the last thing, as always, is you coppin', let me know if you're going to pick this up, because I would love to see other people put this in their collections, because it is a great figure. But with that being said, do everything I just said, people, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.